Oh,
So Pennywise coming to Dead by Daylight, right? We, as a group, were talking in chat, and it was Facebook Messenger, and we were talking about, because that's where we do our Drunk by Daylight, whatever, and get ready for it. And we were talking about what would be Pennywise's Mori. And for those of you who don't know, Mori in the game allows you that once you've hooked somebody twice, you get to execute them after that. Versus letting the entity come down and claim them. You get to actually execute them. Some characters have one Mori. Some characters have two. It's like a light one and a heavy one type deal. Pyramid Head, perfect example. His light one is like he knocks them down on the ground. They go to crawl away. He just takes that big sword, one over, fucking full fucking moon circle and cleans them right in fucking two, which is great. Love it. His big boy Mori is whenever he fucking raises like this barbed wire and construction fucking steel out of the ground, and it wraps them up in like this fucking like cocoon type thing, and their head's poking out and their feet are poking out, and there's like a mid spot, and he just takes the sword and shoves it straight in the mid spot and then fucking slices clean through. Fucking amazing. Scream, by the way, who's my new favorite killer at the moment. Well, I should say new favorite. I still like Pyramid Head more, but I play Scream a lot more than I do Pyramid Head at this point. Because he's just so fun. He's so fun to play. He's so quick, and everybody hates him. And the people I play with, it's very easy to scare them. Most of them, like Cantor, for instance, and I know he's going to watch this podcast, so he's going to get mad about me talking about this. But if you've ever wondered if it's worth tuning into one of our Drunk by Daylights, let me tell you something. At 10:30 Central Time, that's when Cantor gets on. If by all means, get on just to hear Cantor's reaction. This man does not like scary shit at all. So for him to come and play this game took a lot of guts, and I give him that. But when he gets caught and he's in the middle of doing like a fucking generator or something, the screams that come out of this grown adult man is fucking amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and I love it. And to play someone like Scream, where I can go into stealth mode and crouch so he can't see me, and I don't have a terror radius, and out of nowhere he goes from working on a generator to being picked up and thrown over my shoulder in seconds. It's the best thing in the world. Him and my mom. Like, I did it to my mom one time, and she almost had a heart attack in the middle of the game. Like, it scared the fucking piss out of her. Like, she literally screamed so loud and then was quiet for like a solid 5 minutes. Like, she literally was like, I almost had a heart attack. It's great. It's fantastic. So, but Scream's Mori I love because he like hits them down, and then he gets on top of them, and they're like laying like face down, and he fucking pulls the knife out and he stabs them in the back like 3 times, then stabs them in the side a couple times, then he grabs their head, picks it up, slits their throat, and then puts the knife away, pulls out a camera, gets his face next to theirs, takes a selfie, and then fucking throws their head down, and then fucking puts his camera up, and then gets up and walks away. I love it. It's so great, and I didn't know that was Mori, so the first time I did it, it was on Cantor. And he's like, well, this is just obsessive. And I was like, don't worry, dude. I'm taking this to post it on Facebook.
God.
Oh, it was so fucking funny. But anyway, so we were talking about Moris. And right now, the most brutal one is the Hag. And she's like this skeleton swamp creature. And she's like feral as fuck. And so what she does is like you fall down trying to run from her, and then like you turn around and she like fucking leaps onto you, starts biting at your neck, ripping your fucking neck and stuff out, and then she like takes her hand and goes from like the bottom and just rips straight up your fucking stomach, pulling like all your fucking insides and shit out, and then just starts fucking eating them. Like, she's like the most brutal. She's like number one. I want Pennywise to top that. So
Why?
I want to put this out here just in case these become his Moris. Recorded evidence right here, right now. His first Mori has to do with his famous saying, they all float, or it's time to float. Either one of those. They all float down here, or it's time to float. And that's what he always says. And there's a reason why. For those of you who don't know Pennywise, I'll get into that. But he's always seen with a red balloon. So I want to see like him standing there, and he's got the red balloon like blocking his face, and like I want the vision to go like from the survivor, and then all of a sudden the balloon pops, and then they're like in the air, and he's like holding them by the neck up in the air, and then says it's time to float, and then his whole mouth or his whole face just rips open like it does in the movie, and then the lights come out, and that's what fucking like basically like takes their soul out and their body just fucking floats off into whatever. That's his easy one. His big boy one, I thought a lot about this one, right? So the most famous scene from it is the very beginning of the movie. His very first victim, the little boy Georgie. Very sad situation. He loses his little paper sailboat that he made to go down the fucking roads and into the sewage drain, and that's where he sees Pennywise for the first time. So his famous line from that is "Take it," when he's talking about the boat. He's like, "Oh, don't forget your boat, Georgie. Take it, take it, take it." Like he does that, and it's really creepy. So what I want him to do is, as the survivors are running, I want him to like hit them and knock them down, and then like them drop their item, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they pick it up and be like, "Take it, take it." And then as they go to do it, he does the whole grabbing their arm and biting it off like he did Georgie. And then there's another scene in the movie where there's this kid that falls down and he breaks his arm. And then Pennywise is like all stuffed up, like his body is completely turned like 360. His bottom torso is turned 360, and he's like kind of scrunched up like this, and he's hiding inside of a refrigerator. And he comes out of the refrigerator like that at this little kid. And he's like, literally starts walking towards him, and he's like, "Time to float." And then he starts like walking towards him, and the kid's like fucking screaming and crying and backing up. He's got a broken arm, and so he can't do nothing. So the kid starts crying, and it grabs his hand, Pennywise, and he starts like slapping himself in the face. He's just like, "Oh," like mocking him, like, "Oh," crying and stuff. So I want him to grab the arm that he just bit off of the survivor and do that, the "Oh," like making fun of him, and just fucking devour him right there on spot. Done. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So you heard it here first, folks. That would be fantastic.
Okay, what if they do one where it looks like the character is going to get away? There's a cutscene, right? And he's trying to do something, and then it looks like the guy's going to run away. Then it does a cut. It says 27 years later. Then he's back. Then he murders the guy.
That would be
in chapter
lame.
2 now.
That would be lame as fuck. I would
They
be
age
so
your character
mad.
27 years. They make old person models for everybody.
I wouldn't care about that at all. Like, no. Nah, no.